Don't over explain yourself. I want to share with you a lesson that I've learned in my life in both business and in personal. Don't ever over explain yourself. There has been times, I'm an expressive person, I'm a good communicator. There's been times in my life that I've communicated, and when you communicate something, the other person just doesn't get it. You've went through detailed explanation, at least from your perspective, and the response you get is like, it blows your mind. Like, how did you get that from what I just said? So then you have to make a decision. Should you continue to explain yourself, or do you have to just let it be? Let it go. In business, you can do a PowerPoint presentation for 45 minutes with pie charts, with, RACI charts, with every type of chart that Microsoft Office gives you. But you have to understand, here's where it comes in. You have to understand that some clients are not just looking at the information you present to them. They are looking at the information you present to them through their psychological mind of all their past experiences, including their bad, and mostly their bad. So remember this. When you communicate something to someone, they aren't just listening to your words. They are viewing your words through all their past experiences, and mostly bad. And so now, when they interpret what you have said, it comes across different than, maybe how you felt you presented it. But for them, it's their past experiences, and it's something like, you can't get through to them. There's a misinterpretation, there's a miscommunication. But the worst thing you can do is press. Don't over-explain yourself at a certain point. Same thing with personal. If you communicate your feelings and your thoughts properly, and someone else comes at you like with a crazy response that you're like, how did they get that from that? All I can tell you is from my past experiences and sometimes my failures. Because sometimes where I've failed in life is that I've communicated something, someone took it a whole different way, and I'm sitting there for an hour and change trying to explain to them, that's not what I meant this, I meant this. And you go crazy. You go crazy because you have to understand that someone else is viewing a conversation through their past experiences, mainly bad. Just like we all are to some extent. People carry their luggage, but you have to let that go. And you have to sometimes, here's the key, take a loss. Take a loss in a communication, not battle, but in a communication exchange. Because where I have failed in the past is I would communicate something, someone else interprets it a different way, and then I'm trying to explain to them, that's not what I meant, I meant this, I meant this, I meant this. And because I don't want to take a loss of a verbal exchange. But you take a bigger loss by engaging with someone that's never going to get it. For whatever reason, you can't even judge it because you may not know exactly what's going on in their mind. And it's just a perception that you're not on the same page. Let it go. Take the loss. Just take the loss. This person is just not going to get. There's some people you can't win with. And if you can't win with them, don't over-explain yourself. Because they're just not going to get it. And it's not going to end up anywhere positive. I've been there. I've made mistakes. And I've tried it. No, this one meant this one. Now, just let it go. Be mature enough to take a loss and say, look, in the big picture things, I'll just take a loss here. It's an ego trip, though. It's a prideful thing. In the conference room, you want to communicate exactly a winning, successful presentation. That client, that customer, that's a great job. I get exactly what you said. Sign us up. In the personal, every conversation you have, you say, man, that was smart. I love that reply. And you know what I mean? It goes so smooth and everybody's on the same, but sometimes you communicate something so clearly, someone doesn't get it. And all you can do at a certain point, you have to use discernment and wisdom here, is let it go. Take the loss, take the hit on your pride, on your ego. Don't over explain yourself, because you're going to look worse, the situation's going to look worse, and no one will win. No one will win. That's the truth. I want to share with you this life lesson that I've personally learned. Hopefully it helps you. It's tempting. It's tempting. I want to end on this. It's tempting. Just like if you ever had a house. I remember I had a house and I used to, you know when you got to spackle, you get like that cream cheese stuff and you got to spackle sheetrock and you got to let it. I sucked at that. I sucked at it. That's part two why I don't want a house anymore. So I'm spackling sometimes in my house and I was never good at it. I can never get it like, flat and smooth and perfect. So I spackle a little bit. I step back and look, it's not perfect. I keep messing with it. And I messed with it for hours and it still looks shitty. It's the same thing, and somebody told me one time, I said, Sam, less is more. Just don't mess with it anymore. And it's the same thing with that conversation. That's the perfect parable. It's the same thing with the conversation. If you're in the conversation and it's like spackling a sheetrock wall and you can't get it smooth, just let it go. Just let it be a little bit bumpy and just eat it and just let it go. Hope you get that one. It'll change your life for the better. Stay inspired.